Welcome back to part 2 of the crocheted mesh crop top sweater in plus size. I have just finished the 17th row of the double crochet chain 1, and that's kind of what it looks like. Super sparkly. I love this yarn. So now would be a great time to pull out your stitch markers, and what you're going to do now is you're going to count in 28 double crochet from the sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and continue on counting until you reach 28 double crochet, and then put a stitch marker right there in that chain 1. I used the black yarn mostly because that's what I had. And then you will skip the middle part right there, and then you'll go over to the other side and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all the way to 28 stitches, and then place your stitch marker right there. All right, now we are going to go ahead and continue the next part. All right, so let's go ahead and start row 18. And what this row does is it starts the neck hole for the sweater. Just looking at the pattern that I have pulled up. All right, so after you've turned, make sure to have the work turned so you can work that way. And start off with chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Make sure to skip that double crochet and double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. And we will continue this until we reach the double crochet right before that stitch marker. Or if you didn't want to do a stitch marker, make sure to count 28 double crochets from the beginning of the row over, and make sure to count the first chain 3 as a double crochet. And I will meet you back here when I'm done. So I have made it with the double crochet and chain 1 all the way up to my stitch marker here. So next, I am going to go ahead and chain, 41. Okay, sorry, I was referring to my pattern. Chain 41. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 seems to be my stopping point of showing, I guess. All right, so I'll be right back after I have chained my 41 chains. And real quick to explain, the 41 chains is basically the number of stitches from marker to marker that each chain 1 and double crochet. That's what all of this chain 41 is. All right, so making sure that you do not twist the chain. I've done that myself plenty of times. Go ahead and crochet into this double crochet right here. Whoop. Let's angle that a little bit different, and ta-da! Now you've got the hole that goes over your head that creates the neck hole. All right, so go ahead. Whoa! Go ahead. I got the yarn tangled in my hands. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet, and go ahead and finish off the pattern for the rest of the row. And then make sure to double crochet in the middle of the chain 3, and I will meet you back here when I am done with that. This is the beginning of row 19. I have finished row 18 and turned, so go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip the first double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, and go ahead and continue this until you get to that double crochet with the chain 41. And I will be right back when I've done that. I have made it to the double crochet to right before the chain 41. So this part might seem a little confusing because you were looking at the back of the chain spaces. So if you have to, you can kind of twist it and look at the chain that way, and then twist it back and then double crochet. But either way, what we are going to do is do the chain 1, skip 1 chain, double crochet into the next chain. Chain 1, yarn over, skip 1 chain, double crochet into the next chain. Chain 1, skip the next chain, double crochet into the next chain. Now, if you're trying to figure out how I can tell the difference between the chains, especially from the back end, is because every chain has this little bumpy thing right here. See that? So when I know I'm in the next chain, I see that bump, and I can see that there's that little stitch right there, because the bump here kind of is right here. And it kind of looks like, to me, it kind of disappears where you can't really see it. So I see, okay, there's that bump. That's a chain. Next chain over. Oh, I forgot a chain 1. Excuse me. Chain 1. The next chain over, go ahead and double crochet. So I figured I'd sit here for a little bit longer, for at least a few more stitches, to show you, because this is a little bit wonky and a little bit weird. It worked out great for me, but I don't know how clear this will translate for other people. So skip that chain, double crochet into the next chain, chain 1. It's hard to get close, and it's blurry, but I'm trying. So skip that chain, double crochet into the next chain. Chain 1, skip that chain, double crochet into the next chain. I really hope this part makes sense, because it might be confusing to some people, and I do apologize. So chain 1, skip that chain, double crochet into the next chain. You want to do this all the way across the chain. So skip that chain, double crochet into that chain. Let's go ahead and see if I can you see it any clearer this way, I hope? So you've skipped that chain. Oh, chain 1, excuse me. So you will skip that chain right there, and then double crochet into that chain. Is that clear? I really hope it's clear. Please let me know in the comments if that makes sense to you, especially since, you know, you're looking from the back end. So skip that one, double crochet into so I miss. Try it again. So then double crochet into that chain. I really hope that translates well. Chain 1. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off this chain part, and I'll meet you back here when we get back to this part. All right, so I am going to admit when I make a mistake. So I did all the way across, and I got to the last one, and there was not a chain 1 spot at the start of that, there was not a chain 1 before the double crochet, and that's because I missed it when that little teeny tiny little chain right there was in existence, but it's so close to this double crochet that I missed it. But that there is a chain. So that's my bad. I'm going to have to start again. Make sure to double check because that is a chain. And I'm going to have to do this row again. Oops. I'm only human. So I have made it all the way across the chain 41 with doing the double crochet, chain 1 and skip a chain. And I wanted to show you real quick. See, there's one last chain spot before the double crochet. So what you'll do is just finish off the pattern to the end, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, yep, I'm tired, into the next double crochet, whoop, chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet, and you will finish the pattern out this way all the way to the end, and then make sure to double crochet into the middle of the chain 3, and then I'll meet you back here. I wanted to explain something real quick. So when you're done with your neck hole of the sweater, you should go ahead and count the number of double crochet that there are from chain spot to chain spot on each side to make sure that you have the same amount of double crochet. When I counted, there are 20 double crochet on each side. That way, so the pattern is going to be the same on each side where it's the chain 1. Okay, that's harder to see. Where it's like the chain 1, up here it'll have the chain 1 and then the double crochet. Make sure visually that looks similar. It's not going to exactly match up because of you have chain on one side and not on the other. But just kind of visually check to make sure that it matches. I was able to confirm that both sides have double crochet. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. So this is kind of what it looks like. I'm not going to be able to get it fully in frame. I do apologize. But this is kind of what it looks like after 19 rows. The double crochet across, the double crochet across the chain. I'm sorry, but it kind of looks like a mouth. Rah, 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 rah. Okay, so the double crochet into the chain across, and then the double crochet. And I showed you the other way around, but it's the same thing on both sides. All right, so from here, you'll just have your piece turned. You'll do your chain 3 and you will continue on to make the piece from row 20 to row 35. And basically what you're just going to do is you're going to make the second half of this part the same length. So that way, when you fold over the top, this is going to be the middle part of the 2. And you'll be able to fold it over. And then that makes the top part of the sweater. If that makes sense. When I will continue working on this, and on the other side, I will come back and I'll show you the best I can what I mean if that's not clear enough. But this is going to have to be another part. There's going to be 3 parts, probably 4 or 5, depending. But yes, I thank you so much for watching. I thank you for your interest in this sweater. I'm kind of a little surprised, but I am very thankful. Stay tuned, and I will have those out as soon as I can. It takes a little bit of time to make this whole piece right here up to what I showed you before. It took me a few days because I work a part-time job, so I appreciate your patience while I come out with these parts. But alrighty, enough babbling. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you back here with part 3 of this top.